W's and L's, the weekly recap show where we give a dub to the things that we do like and an L to the things that we don't. Who wants to?
I'm going first.
Yeah.
Let's get to the shit, shall we? BP2, Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever has officially shut down indefinitely as Letitia Wright nurses her on-set injury that she had while filming back to full health. So we definitely wish her the best.
For sure.
You know, fast recovery and whatnot. But this does, this is my first L, by the way. It does just add to the litany of negative, I think we can call it negative press that Black Panther 2 has undergone since they started shooting. From the certain conversations that were or weren't happening with Letitia Wright on set, to the rewriting of the script so many times, to the funeral thing being leaked, to now it being shut down indefinitely. It does beg the question, because we just got on here and talked about a week ago that they were delaying the whole slate, the whole Marvel slate, right? Is this the reason? Is Letitia Wright not being able to perform and complete filming messing up the entire Marvel slate? The reason why this worries me is that if there's something going on in Black Panther 2 that has the type of broad reaching implications that would cause the entire film slate to be delayed, y'all, whatever happens in that movie is going to stick. Whatever happens in that movie is going to stick. And that's what worries me. Because they wouldn't do that if it was just an offshoot movie that they were going to not really heavily loop into the MCU or the storyline going forward, right? Like, from what I'm hearing on Eternals, it's a movie that you probably could have placed at any point in the timeline.
Yeah.
That's not going to be the case for Black Panther, right? So it could mean that. It also could just mean that they acknowledge certain things that happened leading up into the MCU or that will happen adjacent to the release of Black Panther 2. So, it has to be moved, and that's a possibility. To me, it's much more likely that because Letitia Wright couldn't continue filming, and that Black Panther was going to play such a pivotal role in the next phase for Marvel, that's why it ended up getting delayed. The entire slate of films in 2022. But again, what does this mean necessarily for recast efforts? It buys us time, essentially. Which, it gets delayed anymore, the film will have lost 2 years.
Yeah, it'll come out in 2023.
It will have lost 2 years.
Yeah.
So again, it does buy time in terms of recast efforts. Because now the focus shifts away from actually doing and probably shifts back to more of fine-tuning the script in the meantime. And if you've already been through it 6 times, probably you've been through about 7, 8, 9, or 10. So I think the chances are still low. But it's no reason to stop. Because again, this gives you all the ammunition that you need to continue an effort like this. Right? The only thing you need is a crack in the foundation. And then and this Black Panther 2 production has more than a crack. It's more than a crack. You even had don't talk about T'Challa, he's not coming back. Yeah.
So stop having the conversation as to whether or not he should be killed off or recast. He's being killed off. The new valid debate is to how that should happen.
Well, I can't
What's
remember
her name? Yeah.
Beyond the trailer.
Randolph. Grace Randolph. According to her, Letitia Wright only wants to be Black Panther for one movie. That's what she say.
Oh.
But she's also the woman that said that they were going to kill T'Challa permanently and not to ask about it anymore. So, not sure how that lines up.
Gross.
I guess Nakia is going to be Black Panther from now on.
That doesn't even... Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, but so yeah, first I hope things clean up over there. Recast T'Challa. Zillow
Oh,
getting an L from me this week.
as they should.
Sell me a fucking house, because apparently during the tumultuous time while COVID was ravaging the country and people were dropping like flies or filling up the ICU, people losing their jobs, having their livelihoods taken away, losing their homes, losing their property. Zillow swoops in not to provide support or help for any struggling Americans during the very trial time. Oh no, they did just what Facebook and Tesla and all the other major conglomerates did, and they took advantage of it. They used the pandemic as an opportunity to enrich themselves, bought hundreds of thousands of properties aiming to be landlords to single-family homes, and now they're sitting with a surplus that they can't service. They can't get people to buy the homes or rent them. So what do? Think they're going to sell those homes back to people that need them? People that struggle from the pandemic, who are trying to get back on their feet? Those struggling Americans that are just trying to pull themselves up by the bootstraps?
Absolutely not.
Think they're going to sell that surplus for cheap to a up and coming first time homeowner themselves? No. They're going to sell them to Wall Street. They are going to basically sell the idea of being large scale owners of single family homes and being landlords of entire neighborhoods to hedge firms and to Wall Street guys so that they can enrich themselves eventually.
The whole thing was nasty to begin with, because Zillow is where everybody goes to look at houses. They have the data behind people making purchasing decisions. Mm-hmm. They even lined up their own agents to be sellers and buying agents. Triflingest
of trifling.
They were going to essentially control the entire
buyer and seller and renter. Buy, sell, and rent.
You were going to have to do everything through Zillow. How is that not a monopoly? Between them and Realtor.com, and they all have the data.
Yeah, but at least Realtor.com is not selling the homes to themselves.
No, Zillow's the worst.
And in order to amass some stockpile of homes.
Zillow's easily the worst.
Jesus Christ.
All of them are.
Let's just sell the houses to ourselves and sit on them.
Considering everybody goes to Zillow first.
So Zillow does that, and yet we have cities like Dallas and LA trying to reform their infrastructure to make underpasses more unfriendly for homeless people to sleep. Why Zillow sweeps up all the available houses on the market and sits on them like some fat cat. Buffalo, New York, you absolutely suck, and you deserve every amount of destitute that you were in store for. So remember, we talked about India Walton, the first progressive mayor to win a mayoral election in Buffalo, New York.
Yep.
And we talked about former Governor Myron Brown and his efforts to try to derail India Walton's eventual election or inauguration as mayor of Buffalo. Mm-hmm. By trying to dissolve the mayoral position altogether.
Yeah.
So that obviously didn't work, right? And so when he decided to stop trying to do away with the mayor position altogether, he decided to run for it as a write-in, on a write-in campaign. Now, besides the obviousness of the perceived impropriety of someone losing a primary election, but then winning off of a write-in in the general is insane. Makes no sense at all. It's pretty much a statistical aberration when you look at elections, but I'll leave that alone. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly. But just the fact that this man went to such lengths as to do away with the position altogether to stop her from getting in. And the only thing that's worse is that it seems like y'all voted for him. It seems like you voted for him. It seems like you took a guy that you didn't vote for in a primary election, in a Democratic election, a primary, right? You didn't vote for him. And somehow, from his loser position, the one that you didn't vote from, he convinced you that India Walton wasn't the person, even though you just voted for her.
Doesn't make sense at all.
It's the country we live in, y'all. Our politics are bought. Our politicians are bought. Our institutions are bought. We don't have any real influence. I swear to God, let me get a canvasser come to my door for the midterms. Please, show up here. Show up. Come here. Because I got a mouthful for you. I'm so disaffected with anything political nowadays. It is a really depressing existence to live within this political system. It is. It's just,
you know that you have very little control.
It is anything. So destitute and void of any real material help for the poorest of the poor. It is so hypocentric on the capitalistic structures within this country that it ignores the rotting underbelly, right? We have all of these potential bubbles ready to explode. Housing, interest, credit, student loans, all of this shit. And none of them, no one seems to think that we should take a step before it all goes to shit. It's the most interesting thing about Americans, man. We eat each other. We eat off each other. It is so crazy. Millionaires eat off of middle-class Americans. Middle-class Americans eat off of lower the poverty-stricken Americans. It is so sickening. It's like a parasitic way of existing. I'm thinking about being an expat, man. Start looking at some other places to be. They over here talking about civil war. Miss me, man. Hey, Alabama, Mississippi, y'all want to succeed? Just give me a 2-week notice, man. Let me know what's about to happen so I can get gone. Facts. Y'all want this civil war so bad so y'all can go back to owning black people. Leave me the fuck alone. Don't get fucked up. But I will happily leave up out of here. I just don't have any affection for it anymore. I don't. None of it is real. You got Biden sitting over here bending over in the Oval Office for Manchin. For Joe Manchin. President Joe Manchin. Excuse me. Let me address him as such. Since he has so much influence in Washington. President Joe Manchin.
Maserati Manchin.
Fam. In a Maserati? No wonder you don't want a billionaire tax. Yeah, so, but that's the end of my list.
Okay. So, before we get into a couple of topics that I'm actually surprised you didn't bring up, you listen to Summer Walker's album yet?
I did not.
Has Tia listened to Summer Walker's album yet?
All weekend. All weekend. I have not had a chance to sit down and listen to it, though.
Oh, so you've been sleeping on the couch?
No, fam. I just haven't had a chance to listen to it.
I haven't listened to the whole thing from what I've heard, though. It's pretty decent.
Okay.
I'm not giving it a double L yet.
Shout out to Summer Walker.
But
and London on the Track, I guess.
He's on like more than half of the album.
This is what I don't get about Summer Walker and London on the Track. How do you produce music when she's eviscerating you?
Because you're going to get paid.
No, I get it. I get it, right? Business relationship, business over pleasure.
Hit almost $250K.
But how do you go into the booth and hear her chop your ass to pieces? Album after album after album. What is this, 3 albums by Summer Walker? And all of them have been, or is it 2 or 3?
I think it's her third project, second album.
Second actual album. Okay. Well, third project where we've heard her talk about her ain't shit nigga, her ain't shit ex. Like, I get, the whole Beyonce Lemonade angle. But damn if Jay-Z had to produce Lemonade. Like, that's nuts. And he signs up for it willingly.
$250K first week.
I don't get it. Him being in the
literally
studio
the only explanation I can come up with. I don't know. But
maybe he's slow. Maybe he thinks she's talking about another ex.
That would be crazy. There's no way. There's no way. She ain't talking about me. She's talking about somebody else. Now turn that bass up a little bit. No, fam. Ain't no way.
Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way.
What if he was just that unaware and that was like the basis of the problem in their relationship?
Didn't he cheat?
I don't know what that nigga did, but whatever he did, say sorry.
I'm sorry.
On to some of my actual dubs and L's. I'm surprised you didn't talk about Kanye in the Drink Champs interview.
Forgot about it.
First of all, obviously the L part of it has to go to the biggest stories coming from it, in that the whole Big Sean thing being the worst thing he's ever done.
The worst thing I've ever done was sign Big Sean.
That's a beautiful thing. Oh, that's a beautiful thing, man.
No. Wait.
The worst.
The worst.
The worst. Oh, this is the best. Holy shit. I know. You fucked me up right now, bro. You fucked my algorithm up. Time out.
Cap. Straight cap.
Yeah, but we know that that's cap. Just like we knew it was cap when he got up there and said that slavery was a choice at TMZ.
Yeah.
It's starting to become very. We got up here and we talked about Lil Nas X, so it's only right we be fair. It's very trollish, and I'm over it. I'm over it, fam. Especially now that you digging into your bag about demonizing black people's spending habits and legitimizing that as the reason for their circumstances. Look, fam. Look, I've let you spit off at the mouth with all your faux politics and whatever it is that you have to play up to sell these records. Fine. And this go for Dr. Umar too, because crazy enough, Dr. Umar and Kanye West share an opinion or share a brain on this opinion. You do not get to sit up there fucking Saint Laurent down. Nigga, you probably pulled up in a car that cost $250,000. You own several fucking homes over various major cities, from Chicago to LA.
Kim owns some of those now.
They own them jointly because apparently that's still his wife.
Point taken.
You are not in a position to tell black people that buying homes is not legitimate or what they should be doing to amass wealth. One of the last of the Mohicans, right? The last for moderately educated to uneducated African Americans to make it to the next class, whatever that class is. If it's middle to high class, if it's, below the poverty line to middle class, it is one of the last of the Mohicans and escape routes or routes of elevation left in this country for us, period. It's not fucking school. It's not college. That's what you need to be college dropout. That's what you need to be saying to niggas. Instead of demonizing niggas for buying J's. For looking like you. How does a nigga who starts a whole business, right? A whole line to break into high fashion so he can be a black guy selling $500 shoes, right? That was your whole purpose, was to create black high-end fashion and then demonize black people for buying high fashion. Shut up. Go take your pill and go sit in the corner. I'm so tired of listening to him. He pisses me off, man. He really does. You don't have to do this shit, bro. You don't have to do this shit. He doesn't. And I hate to say it, man, but him and Kim splitting might, if they even really split. I'm of the thinking that Kim just went along with this whole divorce shit to appease him so that he didn't spaz out. Because, it don't really look like before they started talking on it publicly, they were literally always around each other.
He was there during her SNL hosting thing.
She showed up to all of them fucking listening parties. So, but again, them separating from each other, him not having a check on his manic episodes that he has, him not having someone there to breathe levity into his life is a bad thing for him. He doesn't look like a person who has full control over their facilities or their mind at this moment. And I'm not trying to speak down on his disability, but I'm saying he looks like a person that's not well at all.
Has he in the past 3, 4, 5 years?
He's always said crazy shit. right? And he's always had these moments where he just absolutely flips and says something outrageous. You was just with Big Sean. So when Big Sean dropped the LA Lakers freestyle, that had niggas thinking he was talking about you. Then all of a sudden y'all together, so everything cool, right? And then all of a sudden now you talking about that's the worst thing you ever done was signing him? Kanye, you gonna look up, bro, and no one's gonna be in your corner. You gonna look up and look around you, and it ain't gonna be nobody but fucking Yes Jules and Noriega, and they only gonna be there for the clicks. I don't know, man. I'm over it. I'm over it.
Well, from one clout chaser to another, Joe Budden actually had a clip come out where it appeared that he was coming out as bisexual, that he likes men and likes women.
I thought that was fake.
No, the clip, he does say that.
He says that he's bisexual.
He says, he quotes, "I like men, I like women. Let's get it going," or something like that. And, you know, let everybody know. That's what the
Who
clip,
was he talking to?
That's what the clip says. He was doing his podcast.
Right, but what was the context of the conversation? Like,
so that's the problem, though. It was out of context.
Oh, okay.
I think he was talking about just he was saying that, but he was kind of joking.
Oh, okay.
In a matter of, because he was talking about the LGBT community forgiving the baby, which is nuts. Probably deserves an L.
Hey, look, man. What, they gonna hate him forever?
No,
they gonna put him in jail for the rest of his life. And you know what?
But his
if y'all choose to do that, since I'm not part of that community, if that's what y'all choose to do, go ahead. In any case, if we again, I said this a couple weeks ago. If them the rules, then we all playing by them. We all black. We all in this together. I'm black before I'm a black man. You're black before you're a black trans woman. You black before you a black woman. Right? We all black. So if them the rules that we playing by, then we all playing the same way.
Yeah, but it was just kind of crazy to see everybody kind of, and even I took it out of context at first because I couldn't see the clip in its full context. But it's just kind of crazy. But Joe absolutely dug more into it and tried to milk it for,
Jesus Christ,
for more views. So that's the L. You know, he saw.
Am I bisexual? Mm-hmm. I could definitely see him playing in them.
He was on Twitter talking about, alert the media, tell the media, tell everybody, let everybody know. Which kind of goes to the fact that his show isn't performing, so he needs.
You got to keep up with Rory and Maul. They just had an interview with Hit Boy. Give us your dubs and L's in the comments. We want to know what went well for you this week, what didn't. What did you see that you liked? What did you see that you didn't? Put it in the comments. Let us know.
Thanks for watching another Back of the Bus Squad episode. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
Want to check out another episode related to this, go ahead and click that video to the left.
And if you want to catch up on some of our other episodes, make sure you click the playlist below.